And this is, yeah, Adelaide, you can kind of fall into the trap of, okay, they're missing Keanu Pinder, so you kind of play down to the level.
Clunky start to the game for both teams. Detch goes solo with the left hand, wouldn't work. Sotto almost tipped it in and then drew contact. He's off to the free throw line.
Good one.
Here's Cleveland. Sotto tops it on the deck against Wardenberg and draws a foul. He gets a user-friendly roll with a finished chance at a three-point play.
Anytime the ball goes into the post because of their undersized.
90 seconds is scoreless here since half-time. Alley-oop play, high percentage finish there from Kai Sotto.
No Keanu Pinder, so they're ultra small. Sam Wardenberg basically playing the 5. DJ Hogle played the 4. Majuk Deng comes off the bench. You expect Josh Davey to play a few minutes as well as Adelaide's champion starting 5. Mitch McCarron's back from illness, so we hope that he's doing all right. Same with his little one, who I know wasn't too well as well. And I like this starting 5 now. Kai Sotto into it. I like what he's being able to bring. And then Daniel Johnson, Ian Clark off the bench. Watch out for Adelaide.
Anthony Drimmick back to the bench after 11 and 11 rebounds.
Let's not to mention that cameo appearance yesterday. Great minutes on yesterday. Last time they played, Kieran Galloway.
Yep, he was good as well. So Cairns will get possession off the jumbled tip.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Cairns with this lineup, they try and switch a lot of things. So Tajima, we know Tajima, Bull Qual and DJ Hogue are 3 of the best defenders in the league, but they're going to be undersized throughout the whole night.
27-12 was the opening quarter. Cairns unloaded on Adelaide when they played in round 12th of December. And here's McCall with 4 on the shot clock. He's going to have to make something happen solo here, and Frank shut him down.
Probably couldn't ask for worse offensive possessions if you're the Cairns Taipans. Adam Ford will not be happy that that's what they dished up.
So a chance for Adelaide to open scoring as McCarron uses Detch. Screen from Sotto. He works to the baseline. Once Frank's involved, bouncing into Hogue from close range. Couldn't finish it off. So Adelaide come up empty with their first play phase as well, as Wardenberg combines with Hogue. Works for some penetration and off glass. Does open the scoring.
Nice drive in the middle. Biggest thing about Adelaide is their defense. Giving up 90-plus points per game. Won't get it done in any league. Definitely not in the NBL. Great drive and take by Hogue.
Franks takes it from McCarron. Shot clock rolls to 7 as he hands over now to Antonius Cleveland, who pulls the trigger on a 3, and he puts Adelaide on top.
That's a tough knockdown. Cleveland been shooting the 3-ball pretty well, and again, we're already seeing it. They're just going to switch everything, and DJ Hogue walks into a 3-ball.
Can't come up with the goods.
You got to find anybody at the 3, let alone that man who shoots the ball at a high clip.
And this is, yeah, Adelaide, you can kind of fall into the trap of, okay, they're missing Keanu Pinder, so you kind of play down to the level of what Cairns is supposed to be able to do without him.
So Adelaide back-to-back baskets here, take a 3-point lead. McCall lob pass. Wardenberg was inventive, and from close range he makes no mistake.
It's just too easy on the defensive end of the 36ers. And Adelaide to take it. Sorry, Cairns to take it.
Sotto harassed by McCall, who almost came up with the ball.
And that's the flip side of it. When you know that a team's undersized, you can't just telegraph what you're trying to do. Sunday Detch trying to pass the ball over to Kai Sotto. Sam Wardenberg's fronting. Of course, Tajima McCall is going to come across and help. Somebody's going to be there. They're undersized. They're switching everything. Everybody's going to continue to move. You can't make it obvious.
Active hands from McCall there as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just a note on the crowd tonight. It's a packed-out Cairns Convention Centre, and honestly, the energy in here is electric. New Year's Eve, everybody's in a great mood. I feel like Gilligan's is probably empty right now because it feels like the entire city is here. No Keanu Pinder, but the fans will definitely have an impact in this one.
Yeah. And Joe's one of the best in the business. That right there is a fallacy. There is no way that Gillies is empty on New Year's Eve. It might not be as many people yet as there will be later after this game, if Cairns get the win especially.
Well, here's Cleveland with 2 on the shot clock. Gives it to McCarron and says, you try your luck. Mitch hasn't hit a 3-ball now for some 14 games. And they come up empty, and a chance for Scott against Sotto. Nothing on offer. Uses Bull Qual, who fires unsuccessfully. Now Sunday Detch brings Adelaide forward. Clunky start to the game for both teams. Detch goes solo with the left hand, wouldn't work. Sotto almost tipped it in and then drew contact. He's off to the free throw line.
Good work early on the old boards by Sotto. So big, so tall. Got to put a body on him if you can.
And I love that he's in the starting lineup now, because you don't necessarily throw it to him a whole lot to go one-on-one. He's going to be an elite rim protector. He's been cleaning up the glass, and then it brings Daniel Johnson off the bench to basically say, when he's on the floor, well, let's feed the big fella. Let him go and get his offensive buckets. He still gets them at such a high rate.
77% free throw shooter this season, Kai Sotto, 24 of 31 coming into this game. He is due a breakout game, his highest scoring game of the season so far this year for Kai Sotto was the 16 points and 7 rebounds he had at home against New Zealand back in round 5, but he's not far away from putting up a really influential game in terms of numbers. So Adelaide by 2 as Cairns misfire once more. And Scott,
great hustle.
Yeah, it was.
Great hustle from Shannon Scott. And I'm interested to see how he attacks this game. When Tajir McCall was out, he was terrific. He was literally putting Cairns in the prime seat of climbing up the ladder. And then Tajir McCall came back and he's kind of lost his spot in the lineup in terms of where does he have the impact on the game. Yes, you're missing Keanu Pinder, which is a different position than Tajir McCall, but Shannon Scott's got to realise there's a lot of offense to be had, and a lot of it can go through him.
And a bucket was just made by him.
Here's Cleveland. Soto tops it on the deck against Wardenberg and draws a foul. He gets a user-friendly roll with a finished chance at a three-point play.
Orange 21.
It's a great offensive move. As you can see, Bukuau passes it back to Scott from the land of plenty in that corner. That Amy replay showing us the goods.
Yes.
The big fella, just so talented. Can put the ball on the deck from 3. You won't hesitate if you play off him. He'll shoot the 3.
Sam Wardenberg's going to sit down on the foul. DJ Hogue. He's got a couple of fouls early. We talk about how skinny they are up front. They got by without Tajir McCall because of their guard depth. One player they just could not afford to lose was Keanu Pinder, not just because of how good he's been, but because they don't have that many options in the backup.
Here's McCall with it now. Mismatch, and the poor pass picked off by Cleveland, who's really in a purple patch of form, adds another 2 for the Adelaide 36ers.
Oh, he is in fantastic form. And when he lifts, he provides the team that energy at both ends, especially on the defensive end.
Here's Hogue. Working against a smaller opponent in Cleveland, who restricted him again. Great defensive play. Shot clock rolls to red numbers for Bull Kuala in all sorts of traffic. Mitch McCarron took it off him.
I mean, that is fantastic team defense.
Cleveland thought about the 3. Soto gets it down to Franks, and a mismatch there with Scott back outside. Sunday Ditch. They get Franks a look down low. It looked like an offensive foul, and that's the way the referees have seen it.
Good take there from Shannon Scott. Look at it here. Sunday Detch again kind of telegraphed it. We've got to continue to attack the hoop until somebody steps in front of you.
100%.
Right here. Shannon Scott knew that that ball was going to be going at Robert Franks. Sunday Detch has to be a little bit more aggressive himself. In the end, you try and be unselfish and you turn it over.
So Adelaide by 4, a little over 4 minutes played in this opening quarter. Ben Eyre checks into the game, a former Adelaide player for Cairns.
There's Ian Clark, 36ers.
Hogue. This time against Franks, feeds Eyre in the corner, shot clock. Rolls to the red numbers once more. Hogue wide open, baseline. Can't connect. Well done McCall initially to keep it alive, but Adelaide eventually reel it in. Cleveland has 5. Soto has 6. The only 2 scorers so far for Adelaide, although Ian Clark changes that now with his first 3 of the game.
He's automatic.
He is automatic. You shouldn't even leave him.
And again, that's what the problems that are going to happen, because you're trying to focus on double teaming anytime the ball goes into the post because of their undersized.
8 unanswered points from Adelaide. Has opened this game up early, a little under 5 minutes from quarter time. Ben Eyre exploring, gets to the baseline and is off to the free throw line as he draws a foul there.
Good job by Ben Eyre. Great to see him get an opportunity this season. after that one incredible game he had against Melbourne United.
20 and 10.
Man.
Got him signed. Got him forward, rewarding the young fella.
67% from the free throw line this season, Ben Ayre. 6 of 9 are his numbers.
It looked like 67% free throw shooter on that one. But this is a game when the Taipans, you take out what Keanu Pinder has done all season long, and anyone who steps on the floor should have a green light. You should.
Thanks, Joe. Yes, they have been the surprise pack at the Taipans this year. Last season, they were 9th on the ladder with just 9 wins. And as we've heard there, 10 and 7. They started 4 and 1. They were 6 and 3 early on. But since then, just 4 and 4. They're starting to level out. McCall about to be harassed from behind. Ball came to Buqual, and he was clubbed. And
what's a goaltend? Pretty athletic effort from Robert Franks to get to that, but another turnover. Again, we talk about you don't want to turn the ball over against Cairns, so you don't want to turn it against Adelaide. You don't want to turn it over against Cairns as well, because they've got athletes.
I mean, it literally was just a 10-point deficit.
7 unanswered points here.
In a span of a minute and a half.
Yep. Karen hands over to Franks. Now Sunday Detch, who fires the 3. It's off the mark. Good fight back here from the Taipans. 3.5 played in the second. Scott's been good, has 10 points. Make that 13 points now as he ties it away. So a 10-0 run from the Taipans, and it's all come in the space of less than 2 minutes.
See, Hooley, we talked about this before on Games Together. When they flick the switch, that's exactly what they just did since being down 10.
Yeah, exactly right. And you can't allow them to do that too. That's DJ Hoag's 3rd foul.
Wow.
And so I think we're going to get a challenge here from Adam Ford, which I understand why. DJ Hoag, you'd expect to play close to 40 minutes. You think? I think he's asking about it. He's not going to do it. Well, smart. It looked like a foul.
Holy, but
sure he would have wanted to.
You got to be smart.
100%.
You know your MVP candidate is out.
Yep.
It is on you to step up and have a huge game. You can't get that 3rd foul.
Scott with the block from behind, a lot of contact, but he's everywhere right now.
He's flat out balling.
13 points, got a couple of rebounds, an assist, and a block now. Look at this. He's sending Cleveland baseline right to Buqual. Buqual does a good job of just walling up and allowing Shannon Scott.
That's great defense.
It's great team defense as well. Buqual gets nothing credited for him for that, but he just does the team thing of just walling up and being disciplined, not fouling.
Sunday Detch with it. An offensive foul called on Adelaide.
Well, that's called on Robert Franks. So that's a big call from Vaughan Maybury, saying that he hooked underneath before the contact from Wardenberg, which you thought was coming. Have another look here. Robert Franks gets underneath. That's a great call. That's a fantastic call. You see Robert Franks with the left arm go underneath the bicep of Wardenberg before Wardenberg ends up throwing him. Vaughan Maybury's in a great spot to see that.
They need to get Franks involved. He's taken just 1 shot in the game. He's their leading scorer, and he's coming off that game the other night when he did not take a 3-point attempt in the game for the first time this season. Inside, they move the ball now, and miss there from Davey, which would have put the Taipans back in front. So it comes to Cleveland, who's been the go-to man, this time off the mark. Scott, quick outlet pass. He's got McCall hovering. They've scored 12 unanswered points here to take the lead.
It's just a fantastic effort by Taipans.
Lob pass inside from Clarkland for Sotto was off the mark, and here come the Taipans once more. Lob pass this time controlled well there by Wardenberg, and McCall can't finish it. They keep it alive.
They're just more hungry right now, the Taipans. This is the way they love to play.
Wardenberg, shot clock to red numbers, turns around, he's off the mark. And did a good job there to work it out of court off Adelaide.
And that can't happen. Adelaide's got to come up with that rebound. And same with that outlet pass, as you see here. This is the touchdown pass to McCall. But the one after that, a little dump-off pass. You've got to run back and help each other out.
It's just great energy, hustle, and effort is what they're doing against Adelaide. Oh, beautiful. Another fake handoff that leads to a dunk.
Now 14 unanswered points here from the Taipans. It's unraveled quickly for Adelaide, who led it 30-20. And off the mark once more.
That's not a good shot. That's a contested 2. The ball hasn't got through hands, and what you do is let Cairns continue to pile this on the way they're playing.
McCall around the perimeter. Bull Quoll dangerous from 41-40. Adelaide's bench has outscored their starters at the moment.
Again, normally it's not the worst thing if you're up, and just speaks to the depth of talent that this team has. It would have been an interesting halftime speech from CJ Bruton. There's no doubt about it. 8 turnovers apiece, so that doesn't really jump off the table.
Here's Hogue. Those foul problems can't get going just yet. Now 1 of 5 from the field. Sotto hands over to Sunday Detch. Adelaide back to their original 5, and they look inside Sotto against McCall with a height advantage. He's too crafty. That's why he's top 3 in the league in steals, Tashir McCall, and he wants to go coast to coast as well. Muscles his way down to the baseline, can't convert.
I love that from Tashir McCall.
7-2.
The pass fake, and he does not bite, and in the end just says, you know what, I'll take your cookies, I'll take your lunch. I'm down the other end.
That literally was like under 13 play. Under 13's defense right there.
For real.
Here's Franks against Hogues, playing with 3 fouls, and he elects to fire over the top.
Well, that's a bit of frustration. No doubt about it. You're right. DJ Hogue's got 3 fouls. Try and put him in a situation he doesn't want to get his 4th, and he bails him out because he's frustrated he hasn't got enough shots up.
Karen hands over. Sunday Detch baseline. Switches to the left hand from close range. Can't convert. Giving up opportunities here, and a chance at the other end for Wartenberg. His shot is off the mark. So the first 90 seconds is scoreless here since half-time. Alley-oop play. High percentage finish there from Kai Sotto, who gets his first point since quarter time.
And Cairns Taipans need to pick the ball up higher. Great pass, great finish.
Adelaide back in front as McCall misfires. Here's Sunday Detch. Franks joining in. McCarron on the other wing. Sotto the trailer.
Great job there from Shannon Scott to front. Robert Franks got the ball now. I'll tell you what, I might not have caught it, but down the other end, so they're going to go under to Jim McCall wherever he is on the floor. But CJ Bruton was screaming to Robert Franks to carry a hand, because yes, you want him to shoot that ball, but you just don't want it to seem like it's lazy defense. You still want to show the intent of contesting it, even though you're more than happy to live with that jump shot. Because if your hands are down, if you're just going to go through the motions and slide underneath the ball screen hoping he shoots it, then the rest of the team might just take that step back off the defense as well, and that's not what you can afford to do.
Franks, 77% free throw shooter this season for Adelaide. It's his first score in the game after almost 2 minutes of the third. McCall's just hit 7 threes this season at 21%, so give him that shot. So many times we see a player get his first points after a delay from the free throw line, and he goes on from there. Adelaide have now scored the first 4 since halftime.
What Adelaide need to do is continue to find Franks early in this game. What Cairns need to do is continue to play the same defense on him that they were playing.
Here's Scott. Handing over, slow pass. Wartenberg bounces into Kai Sotto, who's going to be called for the foul.
That's where Sam Wartenberg might have a little advantage. Putting the ball on the floor, getting around Kai Sotto, around the rim. Advantage Sotto. 3-point line, putting the ball on the floor. Test out his agility.
First foul for Kai Sotto, who is the only Adelaide player this season to foul out of a game. Brisbane has 7 different players who have fouled out, which is the most. Cairns has 9 occasions where a player has fouled out, which is the most. Well done, Cleveland, to get it to McCarron in the open court. Nothing on offer there. Franks wide open, comes up with a triple. Adelaide has scored 7 unanswered points to start the second half, and Cairns need timeout.
And that is just great hustle. As we can see the Amy replay, we see the tap out. How he made that pass while falling. That was big.
Tell you what, give a lot of credit for Mitch McCarron not to just throw it up there, because Bull Quoll got back to contest Kai Sotto for the alley-oop. Just was patient enough for Robert Franks, and I think Robert Franks turned to the crowd and said, "You're in trouble now."
It's a great run as well by Kai Sotto running to the rim, brings the defense, gives Robert Franks that easy look. He doesn't run that hard. Robert Franks is not open for that, not that wide open for that three.
Well, the Adelaide 36ers on that 4-game winning streak at the moment, and as you can see, this is their run home. So home games against Illawarra and New Zealand to come Jan 6 and Jan 8. And they've got home appointments as well, as you can see, against Melbourne and the Sydney Kings. So
it's going to be tough. I mean,
no.
The way they're playing. So when you look at Illawarra Hawks, yes, so you probably chalk that up for a win. New Zealand Breakers, once they're back and firing, that's going to be a really tough game. Melbourne United at full strength is going to be a tough game because they're trying to fight. They can't lose anymore.
In Perth, in Brisbane, back to Cairns, over to Melbourne.
Brisbane look like they've just flicked a little switch mentally. And as we said, every single game matters.
Yeah.
And the only one that probably doesn't is Illawarra. That means nothing for them. When you get that out of the way, every other team is fighting to stay in the play-in tournament or get to the play-in tournament or get in top 2.
I know something you both don't know.
Oh, what?
Perth Wildcats run home is the hardest.
Wow.
Is the hardest.
They're going to have their hands full then as Wardenberg misfires 1 of 2 from deep. So just 5 threes in the game here for the Taipans, and 2 of those came in the opening quarter as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, just been listening into the Adelaide huddle throughout the game. Really upbeat, really good leadership from the likes of Mitch McCarron, Antonius Cleveland, Ian Clark as well. They're obviously really happy with the way that they've started this half, as they will be there. But the message from CJ just then was, don't let it drop. Let's carry this momentum and put our foot down.
Well, they've scored 9 unanswered points out of half-time. 3.5 minutes played, and finally Cairns get their first score of the second half.
Good little 1-2 game. On the guards, McCall and Shannon Scott.
So 3.5 played in the third.
I know you got the numbers there, Corey. I want to hear it.
Hold on, let me see what's going to happen right here before I go to my notes.
From the foul line, off the mark. Scott grabs the rebound.
I'm going to wait till a dead play.
Hogue, bounce pass is good one. Wardenberg just hustled out of the points, but is off to the free throw line.
Great cut to the basket. Good find by Hogue. Wardenberg loving his energy. He's been really active in this game. Beautiful cut. Cut hard. You get open. Sure, he would have loved to make that.
That's the activity of the Taipans.
Yep.
Very rarely stand still. When they do, you know things aren't going the right way. All right, talk to me.
New Zealand, Sydney, New Zealand,
tough.
Adelaide.
Tough.
That's Perth's next 4.
Potentially without Travis. After doing his ankle.
Then after that, Sydney.
Tough.
Then after that, Phoenix.
Tough.
Then after that, Hawks. Then after that, Jack Jumpers. That's tough.
It's interesting. 5 in a row. The first time since 2018 when they were on their way to the grand final. And here's Cleveland adding another 2.
Beautiful
Percentage as well, which could become crucial down the stretch as McCarron launches his triple. Oh, the bottom of the net, Mitch McCarron.
Shot clock running down.
Exploring, answers into the paint, beats Franks, who fires from the foul line, adds another 2. 9.7 boards for him. Clark. 7 points on 3 or 4 shooting for him, and now he's into double figures.
And that's why he's there. Big plays down the stretch to put the game to rest.
Here's Hogue waving away. Scott wanting some room to work in against Johnson, who bumps him taking.
Right now, what you need to do is do exactly that.
When these teams met early this month, Hogue was quiet on that occasion as well. As I mentioned, he had.
Can you tell me any netball rules?
I don't know any netball rules either.
In that category, just get a sense the Taipans are making a move here. Scott adds another 2. He's got 25. They're back to within 11. And CJ Bruton pulls a stop to it. Timeout Adelaide. And once more to edge a little closer. They started this quarter down 10. Scott picks them on and earns a trip to the free throw line. McCarron doesn't like the call, but it's his second personal. Calendar year in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Almost lost control. Shannon Scott's beaten them, and he's the man right now to tie the ball game away with 90 seconds to play. Franks, he's going to have to fire with the shot clock about to expire. He gets to the baseline and doesn't get it off in time.
What is going on? This is outstanding defense from the Taipans, but Case, you said it best. It's just nervous. They're just nervous on the offensive end. No one's making any sort of confident plays or aggressive plays. And they're just settling for this. Look at Sam Wardenberg just moving his feet, Robert Franks wanted the foul. That's a shot clock violation.
That's why you have Ian Clark. Put him in the game. He's the guy that make the plays happen.
Well, Cairns with a chance to take the lead after being down 17.
18, in fact, in this last quarter.
And this is normally the man in the fourth quarter.
Gets to the rack, puts Cairns in front for the first time since the opening minute of the third quarter. Amazing turnaround from the Cairns Taipans.
Here is Ian Clark, Corey. You asked for it, but probably a minute and a half late.
In the corner, Clark.
Put Ian Clark in the game. This is why you have him on your team.
NBL 23 is bonkers.
15 points.
This is absolutely outrageous.
Clark has 8 points in this last quarter as well.
You kidding me? You got this guy on your team and you had him on the bench? Our team got to go on a damn near 18-0 run for you to put him back in.
Case, I feel like we are getting unfairly scrutinised if we're the ones keeping him on the bench.
Reaching in from behind there, McCarron deflecting the ball.
Oh, they're going to get two chances here. If they want to take a quick one and 2 for 1, they just need a really good look. Oh, who else?
And they do get a quick release.
Oh,
and knocking down the 3 on the biggest night of his career. Shannon Scott's got 31, and the Taipans lead by 2.
This is incredible.
11 of 15. Oh, my goodness.
It's unfathomable. It's without fathom.
36ers trail by 2. Franks kicks outside to Clark. Scott right there with him. Moves inside the three-point line. Missed it by a long way.
They're going to have to foul. Adelaide are going to have to foul here.
McCarron realises that. They go to Wardenberg.
That's the man you want to foul. Although he's been good tonight. But this
is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Oh, happy New Year's, everybody. It's not over yet either, but I'm lost for words, Case. I just don't know what we've just witnessed. There's the foul. Been very lucky not to potentially be upgraded there Sunday. Depth, that little hug, that little wraparound, so often gets upgraded. Big free throws here from Tajir McCall.
6 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. That was way off the mark. This one will give them a 3-point lead, and Adelaide needing a 3-ball to send it to overtime.
That's the one he needed.
Gets it.
Now, if you're the Taipans on this possession, you just do not foul. If they hit a 3, you go. He just gets nervous on the other team, and that's what happened.
So Adelaide with less than 8 seconds, down 3. McCarron, well, the pass is a sticky one. Did well to get it. They get the open man they wanted, and the 3-ball is off the mark. Loose ball scramble here. McCall gets after it, and the Cairns Taipans have written one into their history books without Keanu Pinder, their leading scorer and the league's leading rebounder. They've come from 18 down in the last quarter and prevailed over Adelaide 86-83.
Unbelievable effort from that Cairns Taipans unit. They are up and about. Oh, watch out, Gilligan. Watch out, Gilligan.
It's going down.
That is just an incredible and inspiring team effort. Adam Ford would be so proud of his men, and so he should be.
Wow.
You're not going to get too many better wins than that in terms of how they look down and out, missing their MVP, and they just stuck to what they do so well. Shannon Scott, enormous. Tajir McCall, massive in the fourth.
Thank you for watching. Kung nagustuhan mo ang video na ito ay mag-subscribe ka na sa ating channel. Paki-follow na rin ang ating Facebook page, Utak Pilipinas. Again, this is D Sports TV. Paalam.